That's what they'll do.
Absolutely not. No shot is Russia trying to, like, I don't believe any video I see online ever until more context comes out.
They lit that thing up. Look at the tracers.
Look at the mods. This is from a game. This is from a game. This one's literally Arma 3.
This one is literally Arma 3. It's fake. It's Arma.
If Russia stops fighting, there will be no more war. If Ukraine stops fighting, there will be no more Ukraine. Like, yeah, of course they're going balls to the wall. With the existence of the nuclear triad, we don't really think in terms of second strike capability anymore. If every single US or Russian city was knocked off the map immediately.
So today is Saturday, February 26th. And it's the third day of the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. Now, people in the United States do not seem to understand what is going on insofar as Russia's invasion is concerned. Because they keep saying that Russia is failing, which is the weirdest comment. Russia is failing because Russia hasn't taken out the infrastructure of Ukraine, hasn't hit the electrical grid, hasn't destroyed the cell phone towers or the water supply or something like that. It's just remarkable. They keep insisting that the Russians seem to advance and then retreat whenever they meet any resistance. And
Destiny, that expert the Mexico interviewed said NATO promised not to expand. Cool story, bro.
It's just a failure of imagination on the part of so many American commentators that they do not seem to understand what Russia is really doing with this invasion. Because you see, the American mode of war is to go to a country and destroy everything. Destroy the electrical grid, cell towers, the water supply system, everything. Just destroy the whole thing and then roll in. That's not fighting a war. That's just mopping up the total annihilation of a country. And the United States has done this repeatedly in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Libya, in Syria, or they semi-tried to do it in Syria. I mean, it's really kind of like...
I think that generally, I guess I would have to go and look more specifically, but I don't think we've carpet bombed places for a long time. I think that we're relatively surgical when it comes to where we strike, because anytime the US kills civilians, there's like a million fucking watchdog groups that are like screeching at us about it. I don't think we just go in and carpet bomb the fuck out of anything. Otherwise, Iraq and everything would have been way more easy, right? We would have just bombed the fuck out of it instead of trying to do any of the urban warfare shit.
Like a despicable way of making war, right? But what are the Russians doing? Well, see, the Russians, they don't want to destroy Ukraine. No, they don't want to destroy it at all. What they want to do is they want to capture it intact, see? And they don't want to hurt the civilians. Why would they? From their point of view, if they harm civilians, they just create enemies. And so they want to capture Ukraine.
So from all the, I'm getting most of this from the Kaplan guy. Fuck, what was his name? So I might be overrepresenting like one source or something. I admit that. My understanding is that Russia underestimated Michael Kaufman. Russia underestimated how difficult the invasion would be, and the hopes was that they could kind of like rush down the capital, expel Zelensky, and then like get it over with very quickly. But that seems to have not been the case. The resistance they encountered was more strict than that. Russia has not been incredibly strategic with their first few days of the invasion. They didn't want to get thwarted like they had. They just didn't expect it to happen the way that it did. But now the idea is they're going to take a step back, refocus and reassess the situation, and then come in a bit more in a controlled manner, basically.
Change the political leadership of Ukraine and install a political leadership that is sympathetic to Russia's security needs and is going to be a long-term ally. But they don't want to alienate the Ukrainian population. Because if they alienate the Ukrainian population, well, the Ukrainian population will eventually overthrow this puppet regime. And the Russians want to install a puppet regime. Let's not pretend otherwise. But they want to install a puppet regime whereby the Ukrainian citizens are more or less indifferent to it. They don't want to install a puppet regime after having made the lives of Ukrainians so miserable.
This is kind of true. My understanding is this is kind of true. You don't really want to go in and antagonize the out of the Ukrainian population. The idea is that any sort of regime that gets installed or leader that gets quote unquote elected is going to be loyalist to Russia, but they're not going to be like mass genociding Ukrainian citizens, because obviously you're setting yourself up for future disaster if you try to take that route. My understanding is that that's reasonably true.
So that's why they don't want to destroy Ukraine or harm the Ukrainian populace. They want to capture Ukraine intact, change the political leadership, and then let it go. Of course, because they don't want to manage Ukraine. They don't want it to be a burden on them. They don't want that long term. And so what are they doing? They are rapidly invading the whole country, and everybody concedes that they're moving very, very quickly. But they're not hitting any civilian infrastructure. They're only hitting military targets. And they are relentless in hitting the military targets, but always with a certain degree of caution. And I'll explain why in just a moment. But they're hitting military targets. They are avoiding civilian populations and civilian infrastructure. And when they go to a city or a destination, when they encounter any resistance from the Ukrainian army, any serious resistance, they stop and pull back. Because what are they doing? They are encircling. That's their whole strategy. And it's very simple. And if you look at a map, you'd realize it. What the Russians are doing is that whenever they go to a major city, like Kiev, like Kharkov, and soon enough they're going to be in Dnipro, when they get to those cities, they go up to those cities and they meet some resistance, and then they pull back. And they allow their forces to start to surround it. That's the
We're on some hardcore Russian copium propaganda here, okay?
strategy they're employing in Kiev. That's the strategy that they're employing in Kharkov. They are encircling these cities, and once they've completely encircled them, what will they do? They'll wait. That's what they'll do.
Absolutely not. No shot is Russia trying to like do some extended like siege of any fucking cities. No, that is delusional. I don't think Russia wants this war to last a millisecond longer than it has to, because like very quick strikes can get you huge surges in popularity. Going in, doing shit, getting out or whatever is like very, very good. But like having these like huge protracted conflicts where the rest of the world is shitting on you, where Ukrainians are upset, like I don't think that plays well. I don't think that just plays well for the Russian propaganda machine. I don't think it looks good like that. They're not trying to like siege all these cities and have this, especially with how insane all of the financial sanctions and everything coming down are.
See, if you surround a city, all you have to do is just wait around. Eventually it'll fall, of course.
But is that not what happened in Georgia? So I could be wrong. What was I doing in 2008? I feel like nobody talked about or gave a fuck about Georgia. I don't think that the West was anywhere near, even though I think that was the first European conflict in the 21st century. I think it was Russia into Georgia. But I don't really think anybody in the West cared that much. I think that Ukraine is just seen as so much more important to Eastern European. One, because of proximity. Two, because of shared culture. Three, because there are a NATO-aligned ex-Warsaw Pact countries like directly to the north. I think that the Ukrainian conflict is just something that people are so much more familiar with. And Georgia, the reporting wasn't as much. People didn't talk about it as much. Nobody cared as much. Russia wasn't as much a threat. I just don't think that we cared about it all that much. Yeah, Russia was supporting separatists in Georgia since I think 2003. There had been like this gray zone warfare happening for the better part of, I think maybe more than half a decade before they finally rolled in, declared two regions independent, and then sent in their people to clear the Georgians out. I don't think people cared about it that much. While Georgia is generally speaking pretty European culturally, they're actually in Central Asia. Yeah, but it's I think it's considered European because I'd read that quote before. Georgia is next to, I think it's Azerbaijan, northeast of Turkey, south of Russia, but I think it's considered a European conflict. That's what I've read it as. I don't know why. They are not in Asia. Well, it depends on where Asia is, I guess. Usually they're considered European. Yeah, everything that I've read considers Georgia a European country. I don't know why. I don't know how they draw the maps or why they. Every time I Google this, it always takes me to Georgia, the state. Also, I don't know if this is considered Central Asia, right? Wouldn't Central Asia be like here? I don't know who's considered Central Asia or whatever, or over here at least. But this was considered a European conflict. I think it's because of culture or something. Yeah, maybe. But okay.
Hang on a second. Let me just let's see. All messages are visible. First, hey Big D, how's it going? I'm wondering how many people I'm gonna get on this live stream. I've got 31. And why am I doing this live stream? Oh, hang on a second. I wonder if should I put these on or not? Can you guys hear me properly? Hit me with a
Shit, I fucked up. Hold on a second.
And so the Russians are systematically surrounding all of the major cities. And whenever they come across a smaller town or a village, they just advance and cover it and capture it and move on and continue with their advance. Whenever they meet any kind of serious resistance, they stop, pull back, and then encircle. One of the things that they want to capture intact, and people don't seem to realize this, but it's very obvious if you think about it, they are trying to capture the Ukrainian army. That's not why there hasn't been any major battles with, hundreds or thousands of casualties. It's been light skirmishes. For all intents and purposes, the Russian army is tiptoeing into Ukraine. Insofar as air power is concerned, the Russians in the first 3 hours wiped the Ukrainian skies of everything. The Russians own the Ukrainian skies. Any plane flying is Russian. But insofar as...
I don't know if that's true yet. My understanding is that Russia hasn't deployed significant air forces yet. I don't know if anybody has a link to something that has more information on that, but I don't think that Russia does own the skies right now. I don't think they've deployed anything significantly in the air yet. Absolutely not true. They shut down 2 MiGs today. Yeah, I don't know where he got that from, but also the ghost of Kiev is flying around up there, so there's no way that.
Their army is concerned. This isn't World War II. This isn't a World War II where the Russian armies were kissing cousins of the Mongol hordes. You know what I'm saying? No, this is the modern Russian army that has the goal of capturing intact Ukraine and the Ukrainian army. Because the Russians realize that once they have captured Ukraine and changed the political leadership, they will need an army to protect and look after the Ukrainian state and the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian land. They don't want to destroy the Ukrainian army. They could do that if they wanted to. They would have done that already. They own the skies over Ukraine. Their goal is to capture Ukraine, capture the Ukrainian army with as little casualties as possible to the Ukrainian army. And that's why whenever they come up against serious Ukrainian resistance, they keep consistently...
Why is he
back.
repeating himself like 20 times?
And in the West, this is interpreted as the Russians are weak, which is so weird. It's like the Russians are so weak, they're not advancing as fast. I mean, well, that is a separate issue that I'm going to get to in just a moment. But the Russians are so weak because they're not obliterating the Ukrainian army. Because that's what the Americans do. They obliterate anything that crosses their path.
This is
Friend
just...
or foe, they don't really care.
I don't know if he knows what American military capabilities are, but I mean, like, we could level countries if that was the goal without nuclear arms. This is just not how America conducts warfare. It's just absolutely not the case. Like,
but the Russians do care. That's why they're not obliterating the Ukrainian army when they could. A friend of mine, Alex Christoforou, and the Duran, great show, he pointed out something that I'd never considered, which is very obvious. He pointed out the fact that, you see, the current Ukrainian leadership in the military, the generals in Ukraine, they went to military academies with the generals of the Russian armies. They're drinking buddies since when they were back in like 18-year-old, 19-year-old league.
This video is him. This video is him unironically praising the people that are destroying. Oh, no. Hold on. We haven't even gotten there yet. I haven't actually seen this video before. The live stream I saw, I felt like he said some wild shit, but we'll see.
They know each other. They don't want to kill each other. Of course not. I mean, you've got some buddy when you were drinking out when you were 18, right? You want to kill him? No. You could be on opposing sides of whatever contest, but you don't want to hurt him. Of course not. You'll be pissed off at him maybe, but you don't want to kill him. The Russian army doesn't want to destroy the Ukrainian army. They could have done it already in these 3 days of combat. Once the Russians owned the skies over Ukraine, they could have done whatever they wanted with the Ukrainian.
Hey, Steven, ready for some League? I've got a new strat with Soraka. Come play League with me, Steven. Love, Mr. Button Cupid.
Hold on one second. Jesus. Hold on. Wait a second. Okay. What is this? Russia, slow to win Ukraine's airspace, limiting war gains. In war, winning quick control of airspace is crucial. Russia's failure to do so in Ukraine, despite its vast military strength, has been a surprise, and it may help explain how Ukraine has so far prevented a rout. One of the big reasons why you know that Russia will take over once they begin to roll out their planes, and this is another reason why I know Ukraine's not winning the air war, is because Zelensky keeps begging for a no-fly zone. A no-fly zone is when an outside country looks into the borders of another country and says, okay, we're going to make the rules now are no airplanes, and if we see any airplanes, we're going to fucking destroy them, is a no-fly zone. And Zelensky has been pushing Biden to do a no-fly zone. But a no-fly zone is essentially deployment of troops into military conflict, and NATO will never do that. We'll never do a no-fly zone. But there's a reason why Zelensky is begging for a no-fly zone, and that's because once Russian Air Force starts to like roll out hardcore, the shit is going to be a lot more tough for the Ukrainians. But so far, they haven't. I don't think Russia has deployed a lot of its air forces yet. The standoff in the sky is among the Russian battle's shortcomings, including logistical breakdowns that have thrown Moscow off stride in its invasion. Typically, an invading force would seek at the outset to destroy or at least paralyze the target country's air and missile defenses because dominance of the skies allows ground forces to operate more effectively and with fewer losses. U.S. military officials had assumed that Russia would use its electronic warfare and cyber capabilities to blind and paralyze Ukraine's air defenses and military communications. A possible explanation for Russia's failure to do so is that Vladimir Putin built his war strategy on an assumption that Ukrainian defenses would easily fold, allowing Russian forces to quickly capture Kiev, the capital, and crush Ukrainian forces in the east and south without having to achieve air superiority. If that was the plan, it failed, although at this stage the conflict's overall trajectory still seems to favor the larger, better-equipped invading force. The invasion is less than a week old, and Russia still hasn't committed to the battle to the full force it had assembled on the border. A senior U.S. official said Monday that about 1/4 of the force hasn't crossed into Ukraine. The official, who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss internal military assessment, said Ukraine has retained a majority of its surface-to-air missile systems used to shoot down aircraft and a majority of its helicopters and airplanes. One reason they have yet to be destroyed, the official said, may be because Ukraine's air defenses were not centrally located and may have been moved around the country. It appears that Russian Commanders have become frustrated by the pace of their battlefield gains and failure to win full air dominance, the official said. In response, they may consider more aggressive, larger-scale attacks against Kiev and to reduce the significant remaining Ukrainian air defenses. When he announced his decision to attack on February 24th, Putin gave no timetable for completing what he called not a war, but a special military operation. By U.S. estimates, he had assembled more than 150,000 troops on Ukraine's borders. We think that they're a few days behind where they expected to be at this stage. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby said Monday, 5 days into a war that is the largest in Europe since World War II. It's clear, yes, the Russians have had their own challenges, and they have met resistance we don't believe they fully expected. Philip Breedlove, a retired Air Force general who commanded NATO forces in Europe from 2013 to 2016, said Russia did unleash substantial missile attacks on Ukrainian air defense sites and airfields in the first few days, and yet the Ukrainians have found creative ways to preserve their air and missile defenses. I am pleasantly surprised that the air defense capabilities of Ukraine, even though diminished, has carried on as long as it has, Breedlove said. He added that Russia may yet bring more fighters and bombers into the conflict, even as Ukraine acquires Stinger missiles and other air defense weaponry from Western nations. In Breedlove's view, the weaponry provided to Ukraine by the United States and many other countries in recent weeks, including Javelin anti-tank missiles, which I think came from Germany, they were finally convinced to do more than just helmets, has given Kiev an important boost. He recalled that when Western countries in 2014 began providing radars used to detect and pinpoint the origin of artillery and mortar attacks, some questioned whether the Ukrainians could make good use of them. It was not long after they had them and started working with them that they were teaching us new tactics, techniques, procedures on how to deploy them, said Breedlove, who was NATO chief at the time. Oh, the Javs are all American. Okay, never mind. There were some missile systems. It might have been SAM missiles or something. I don't remember that that Germany was providing, but I know they stepped up into including like more big boy stuff then. Okay. There you go. Oh, Germany sent Stinger missiles. Is that a Hind? Stinger missiles. Okay, sorry, back to this guy.
Army. They could have annihilated it, just blown it to smithereens and blown away the entire population of Ukraine if they wanted to. They could cause a major, major humanitarian crisis if they wanted to, and they obviously don't. How do I know this? Because they haven't done it. They have had the opportunity for 3 days to do it, and they haven't done it. I'm doing this stupid video from a hotel room in downtown Kiev, and I'm gonna upload it to the internet. Do you think I'd be able to do it if the Russians were really serious about conquering Ukraine? They wanna capture it, understand that. And understand that you in the West, you are being goaded into thinking that Putin and the Russians are like evil antichrist. You don't understand why the Russians are in.
How do we know Coach Redpill is in Ukraine?
And your political
He's always in the same room in his videos.
leadership, Boris Johnson, Joe Biden, all these people, they don't want you to understand. Of course not. They want you to just demonize, just to take the easy way out. They want you to imagine that this is a Marvel comic book movie and that, there are white hats and black hats. Good guys, bad guys. Yeah, we gotta kill the bad guys because we're the good guys. Yeah. It's so naive. The Russians don't want to harm Ukraine. They would have destroyed Ukraine if they wanted to. But they don't. They want to capture it in one piece. Now, you can say that Russia's motivations are this, that, the other. It doesn't matter. You have to look at the practical reality that is taking place now.
What do you think about all the videos surfacing YouTube about captured Russians saying, we were told we were just doing military exercises, not invading? I don't believe any video I see online ever until more context comes out. Whether we're talking about police killing people or people fighting whatever or anything, I don't believe any fucking video. You should not either. Dude, you just shouldn't watch it. You just shouldn't, honest to God, you just shouldn't watch it. Just don't. Just don't. You just shouldn't watch it. You have no fucking idea how much of that shit is fake or how much of that shit is real or what is fucking. I could post videos of Russian or Ukrainian people talking and just give you the wrong translations. You don't even speak the languages, right? You can usually tell. What? Okay, maybe you can. What's this?
3 breaking news report was sponsored by Applebee's. Oh, this one's fucking insane. I don't know if this is legit or not. Rip. Oof, they lit that fucking thing up. Look at the traces.
Everyone. Much love XQCL.
This one is literally Arma 3. It's fake. It's Arma. Oh, god damn it! I hate it! Sponsored by Applebee's. Oh, this one's fucking insane. I don't know if this is legit or not. Rip. Oof, they lit that fucking thing up. Look at the tracers.
Look at the mods. This is from a game. This is from a game. This one's literally Arma 3.
This one is literally Arma 3. It's fake. It's Arma. Oh, god damn it! I hate it! Why? This is what I mean. This is what I fucking mean.
Chat.
This is what I
Chat.
mean.
Guys, isn't it what this was saying? Chat? This was right. This is pop politics dog shit.
Oh no.
They always,
Oh no.
motherfuckers constantly
I feel like this is enough to maul us on for like 2 days. He didn't actually watch this clip, did he?
posting fake bullshit. One of the things that you gotta always look for, one of the things that you gotta always look out for is 3 breaking news report.
I also
Jesus.
call me an asshole. I don't believe any video. I don't believe any picture. I don't believe anything that's been. I don't know if Russian soldiers are calling their parents or if it's fucking Ukrainian people in I have no idea. I just don't watch any of it. I don't give a fuck about any of it. Read the reports later. I just super don't give a fuck.
Right. Wouldn't you know a bit more about the development though?
No.
Like.
No, because like when you
Okay.
watch this breaking news shit, like 80% of the shit that gets reported is fucking fake anyway. It's people tweeting shit like oh my god, there's tanks in fucking Ukraine. Like they're already at Donbass. Like we saw pictures of troops fleeing. There was already a guy, right? Nobody knows how much of this shit is true or not. Like especially in Middle Eastern stuff where everybody's just brown. People will post like images and videos of shit from like 20 years ago and be like, look, this is ISIS killing people right now in Syria. It's like, no, it's not. It's Turkish troops fighting Kurdish people in Southeast Turkey. Like it's not even remotely related. So it's you usually just wait till the next day, read the news articles, figure out what really happened. But if you want to watch this shit, it's cool.
What really bothers me, and perhaps this isn't a wise thing for me to say while I'm still in Ukraine under the Zelensky regime. What really bothers me is that the Zelensky regime has no trouble causing a humanitarian crisis. In fact, they welcome a humanitarian crisis. They would love to see dead Ukrainians. And I know this for a fact. And do you know how I know this for a fact? Because the Zelensky government has been handing out AK-47s willy-nilly to the civilian population.
So the quote is that everybody is soying out on Twitter, which is a good quote actually. I'll soy out over it. Is that if Russia stops fighting, there will be no more war. If Ukraine stops fighting, there will be no more Ukraine. Like, yeah, of course they're going balls to the wall. Like it's.
If Russia stops fighting, there will be no more war. If Ukrainians stop fighting, there will be no more Ukraine. That is the simple reality before us. That is the simple truth. The world will hold Russia and Belarus accountable for their actions. Russia as the main aggressor, Belarus as the enabler.
It would be like me going up to rape somebody and then they pull out a knife and I'm like, wow, you want one of us to die, don't you? And they're like, yeah, that's how this is gonna go, buddy. Yeah, no shit. Ukraine wants a humanitarian crisis or something. They want as much as possible because they're doing everything to defend the existence of their fucking country. No fucking shit, Sherlock. That's not insightful. That's not deep. That's not intelligent to point that out.
As I understand it, they've already handed out 10,000 AK-47s and munitions to match. Now, you see, if you've never had any kind of military experience, you, with a weapon like that, you can become extremely dangerous to all the people around you and to yourself. It takes training to operate a firearm. You have to know what you're doing. It's not a casual thing, okay? It's not like in the movies. It's very, very dangerous.
Bro, if you fucking 2 days on a range and somebody can be like semi-competent with a rifle. I don't know how much money they've got for like sights and shit. I don't know what standard military issue is for stuff, but like you'll be okay. Okay, shooting rifles is easy. Becoming competent with a handgun might be really difficult, but like sitting out a fucking window and like I don't think it's the most difficult fucking thing in the world. Okay.
And you can harm yourself before you harm anybody else, and the harm you can cause to others is, it's incalculable and you can't take it back. Now, the Zelensky regime is handing out these weapons teaching people how to use Molotov cocktails, how to make Molotov cocktails and use them themselves. They want to foment the people to fight the war against the Russians. And the thing is, see, the Russians have professional soldiers. Now, these professional soldiers, you know, they carry a weapon, they know what to do with the weapon. If they see somebody armed, be it a man in a uniform or just a civilian with an AK-47, well, they're going to shoot him, okay? And so that civilian will be dead, and that will present a great photo op, now won't it? So that Zelensky can...
This is such a weird twisting of the narrative. Like, every civilian is trying to defend their country. Oh, you just want them to die so you get photo ops so you can bring in more people, huh? Like, okay, dude. You should review the Russian professor interview by Mr. Girl later. Oh, if he uploaded the channel, I'll watch it, sure. Give me the link to it, we can watch it.
Wrangle some European country or the Americans or whomever to come in and get involved in this war and potentially escalate the situation to levels that are unimaginable. The Zelensky regime is doing something frankly evil, because it is evil to put civilians, to encourage civilians to do something that incredibly dangerous and irresponsible. The Zelensky regime has also put heavy weaponry in civilian population centers. Now, these heavy weapons, howitzers and whatnot, they're dangerous. And so the Russian army has every right and obligation to destroy such heavy weapons. But of course, when trying to destroy such weapons, it's inevitable that you're not going to quite hit the weapons when you try to aim for them. You're going to hit around the weapons. And therefore, if these weapons are in the middle of apartment complexes, you're going to have Russians shelling apartment complexes, killing innocent civilians. The Zelensky regime is putting these weapons in the middle of populated areas precisely because they want to have this happen. And I'll tell you something else that the Zelensky regime is doing. They are forcibly conscripting men between the ages of 18 and 60. They are not allowing...
Did they actually forcibly conscript? Or did they just say that those people weren't allowed to leave the country? Because those are two different things. I haven't heard of the conscription thing. They asked them to stay. Yeah, okay, you just can't leave the country.
Them to leave the country, and if they try to leave the country, they are arrested and forcibly conscripted. That is, forcibly put into the Ukrainian army. Now, what has happened because of this? Well, just about every man between the ages of 18 and 60 is running away from the cities. That's why there are so many refugees. It's not that they're seriously thinking that the Russians are going to shell and destroy their apartments or their homes or whatnot. They're afraid of getting arrested and forcibly conscripted.
I feel
the
like
women
I've outpaced him intellectually.
And
What?
young children and old men are having to hide these men who are between the ages of 18 and 60. And by the way, this isn't something that I heard. People that I know personally, people that I do business with, I know them. I've gone drinking with them, eating with them, doing deals with them. They've had to leave Kiev for fear of being forcibly pressed into the Ukrainian army. Middle-aged men, farts like me, who are out of shape, you know, we're real good at some business deal, but crappy at carrying a backpack and a weapon, with no experience whatsoever in such activity. And the Ukrainian government, the Zelensky regime, is doing this. And why do you think they're doing it? Well, first of all, you don't forcibly conscript men into your army if you think that you're winning. Now, do you? Of course not. Number one. And number two, by having this forcible conscription, you scare all the men and you create, all on your own, a whole class of refugees, of people fleeing the cities. They're not afraid of the Russians, they're afraid of the Ukrainian regime that is trying to press them into service. That's what's going on. And so you see all the video images of people fleeing the city, and you in the West, you in the United States and Western Europe think, oh, they're afraid of the Russians. No, they're afraid of the Zelensky regime. But I have to say that issue of handing out weapons to civilians who don't know how to handle them, that is the thing I find most despicable. Because they are willing to have these poor civilians who know nothing of weaponry become martyrs. Because the Russian soldiers who see some civilian with a gun, well, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to shoot him. And that innocent civilian who doesn't even know how to hold the damn weapon is going to die needlessly for nothing, for absolutely nothing. And I find that despicable. I find that truly evil. Also, the Zelensky regime can get a nice photo op. That's what's going on. And if you want to say that the message I'm saying is pro-Russian or pro-Putin or I'm a Putin stooge or useful idiot or whatever, fine. I don't care. I mean, I don't really care. Have
you seen the Gaddafi video? I don't think there is a Gaddafi video. I've seen the one of his body in the back of the truck and everything. I know because I searched for a long time ago because I'm fucked in the head. Supposedly there is a Gaddafi video of him getting raped in the ass with a rifle or whatever. But I don't know if that video actually exists. Or have you guys seen? Because I went trying to find that video. I don't know if it exists. I've never seen it. He got fucked by a metal pole. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I heard that the video exists. It's just not public because I thought I read somewhere that Putin watched that video. And he was so ashamed at what happened with Gaddafi in Libya that it was a huge push for him to make sure that anybody that was a friend of his never had that fate happen again. It's one of the reasons why he was so big into Syria. On top of all of the strategic rationale and everything as well. I don't know how. I heard that he was obsessed with it. Is that true? I only read that off of one. This is a book thing I read. I read so much shit when I was doing Middle Eastern stuff. I don't know if you can find that on Wikipedia. I had to actually do research for this, but I don't know how true that particular quote was. I don't remember even when it came out. It was a long time ago. But the video of him getting dragged into the streets, I might have seen that off the back of a truck through the street. It's been a long time since I watched this stuff. But yeah. What's the most yikes thing you've seen searching weird gore shit? I don't really want to talk about it on stream because it's a little traumatizing to even hear about, I think. Yeah, sorry. Let's just keep going. The Mexican cartel videos are really fucked up. The ISIS videos that got really popular are really fucked up. Drop your craziest video. I mean, the craziest one is probably the one, I think most people are familiar with it. I guess mute for a second if it's bothering you. But there's I think there's two sociopathic kids that are torturing, I think, a homeless guy in a forest with a screwdriver and shit in his eyes and stuff. It's really, really, really fucked up. Hammers and shit too. It's a really old one. Anything involving dismemberment is pretty weird. There's a lot of that shit. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit on the internet. Okay, let's just go back to this, okay? Let's do this.
I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I'm telling you the truth. I'm here. I'm here in Kiev, in the downtown, waiting for the Russians to invade the damn place, huh? So I know what I'm talking about. None of this stuff is appearing in the mainstream media now, is it, huh? Because I'm not following the American or European mainstream media because I know it's just a pack of lies. But probably what I'm saying in this video, you haven't heard it. Well, now you're hearing it. And think a little bit, huh? I mean, in this channel, what have I always told you, stupid motherfuckers, huh? Think for yourself. Think. Look at the information that you have available and ask yourself why something is happening the way it's happening. It's not arbitrary. It's not by chance. People have thought through what they are doing. The Russians have certainly thought through what they're doing.
Blunt force videos are the worst to the face. One of the craziest things about your head, okay, sorry, last kind of gory thing. One of the weirdest things about your head is there's actually a lot of empty space that's not really important to your survival. When you think of where is your brain and your head, you kind of think it's this whole thing, but the brain is only really back here. So you see a lot of really weird videos with people's entire lower face blown off, but they're still okay. They're just obviously bleeding a lot and shit, but you can carve out like this whole part of the face, and you'll be okay. One of the worst videos I've seen, yeah, there's the bear attack video is bad. If that guy actually got attacked by a bear, I don't know. One of the worst ones is a kid went to jump and dive into the water face first, but he misses and he hits the concrete. And you can see when he goes to the hospital later that his face is split into like 4 quadrants, and they would like put it together and you can see him breathing and he's still alive, but like when they let go, it just like opens up like the predator mouth. Oof, that's a pretty yikesy one. Sorry, okay, back to this. No more of this, all right?
The best that we can hope for is that the Zelensky regime fails in its attempt to wrangle in the Europeans and the Americans into this war, and the Zelensky regime collapses or flees or whatever, and Russia is able to take Ukraine in one piece without harming too many people. And that's the best that we can hope for. Or if not, the whole country will be destroyed. Millions of people will be displaced, hundreds of thousands, perhaps even millions killed. And this is the exact same thing that happened in Iraq. Let's hope that we don't have a second Iraq.
In the coming days, Putin will have to take a big call. After Ukraine, what?
Oh, this, I discovered these people recently because I've come across some of their videos for some of the history stuff. Is this a bad news source? Because I feel like some of the stuff I've watched from them seems to coincide with my research pretty well, and they seem to be pretty informed. I don't know anything about this beyond just the bit I've read and watched relating to everything going on. Jesus Christ, they upload a fuck ton of videos. WION? Does anybody know anything? Is this like a reputable news source, or did I fuck up watching anything? Bro, these people upload so much. Wait, what the fuck? $232 million views in the last 30 days. Oh my god. Bro, there's like 50 videos uploaded today. I'm sorry, wait, no, there's like 100 videos uploaded today. It's just a TV channel in India? Oh. Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to find it. They have an interesting video covering a lot of the history of the Ukraine Russia stuff. They upload so much. This is insane. I'm not going to be able to even find what I watched. I don't think I am. Nope. Okay. Go to your YouTube history. I turned all that shit off because I was tired of watching one thing and then having everything getting recommended to me and fucked, so. Hi.
Will Russia go to...
Oh, this video. This is interesting. This has a lot of interesting history. I don't know if it's worth watching or not on stream, but... Well, I'll just throw it up here. We're not getting through hardly any of these today. Okay, live stream.
+1 if you guys can hear me properly, and hit me with a 0 if you can't.
We won't watch this whole thing, but...
Okay, so I guess all you guys can should invade your palace. All right, not just now. A while ago, a few hours ago, I didn't ask me anything for my Patreon.
Have you seen Infrared say that the Ukrainians had bioweapons to target Russian genetics? Yes, there was only one other person that had shown me that, and it was it was my mom. Jesus Christ.
I'm in Kiev, Ukraine. I'm staying at the Premier Palace Hotel, right in the middle of Kiev, right in the middle of the Russian invasion, man. Woo! It's pretty damn funny. Oh, by the way, just to confirm, to show you, I'm live streaming, and so I'm in my bedroom, but let me, how do I change this? Oh, there we go. We change there. Oh, wait a second. Let me find... Oh, I have it in my pocket. Right. I was like looking for this, actually. Let me just show you that I'm actually in the Premier Palace Hotel in Kiev. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the atrium. I'm not going to mention what floor I am, but I'm high up. And see, if you can see an atrium down below, I'm zooming in. It's very distinctive, and it's got these elevators that go up to the ceiling that during the daytime, it's really lovely. And so you can see that down there, okay? Now, why am I pointing this out? So that you guys can check to see that I'm telling the truth. Because I'm so furious at this Jordan Schachtel guy who alleges that I'm lying about being in Ukraine and that I'm a troll who's, making stuff up. It just bothers me to no end, It just really, really pisses me off. And because I was gonna go on a Spaces to talk about my experiences in Kiev, in Ukraine, in the middle of the fucking war. And this asshole, as I get in,
Is this guy still alive? It's 50-50 right now. We don't know.
says, oh no, he's not real. He's a troll, he's a liar, and he kicked me out, and he slandered me in front of 500 people. And that just really, really fucking pissed me off, man. I mean, look, if you get slandered like that in front of 500 people, of course you're gonna get pissed off. And the thing that bothers me is that I know why. Because a while back, a couple of months ago, I was on a Spaces with some woman, I forget her name.
Why is it that before when I killed this thing, I got 3 treasure chests? Where did that come from? Why did that happen? Poison does well against shield. Oh, whoops.
Blackman or something like that, and talking about Ukraine. And she was an NGO, New World Order, kind of like Globo Homo, kind of that kind of Zogbot kind of thing, right? And I'm like, no, very negative on that crap. And, she basically called me a Putin stooge. I'm like, when you disagree with the narrative, you're a stooge of Putin. And yeah, she kicked me out of this thing. And this guy, Jordan Schachtel, was on that Spaces. And he knew from the things I was talking about that I was really in Kharkov. He knew. But later, like yesterday, a couple of days ago, whenever it was, I've lost track of time because time has just like flown in together because I'm stuck in this goddamn hotel during this invasion, right? But anyway, the point is that this guy, Jordan Schachtel,
Is this the actual list of Kiev?
he knows that I'm in Ukraine. He knows it for a fact. And he just wants to disqualify me because he doesn't like what I have to say, That's how these people operate, And they have a narrative. And I'll bet you anything that if you guys pressure him enough, he'll have me on. And you know how he's going to be? He's going to be silky smooth. Like, oh, I didn't know. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And he'll be like a big suck up. Because these people, they're arrogant, They're incredibly arrogant when they think that they have the upper hand. But the second that they think that, their position might be slipping, they become incredibly subservient. I mean, just total suck-ups. They're not people of one line. And you have to always be careful of people who are not of one line. See, you meet a man and he treats, a president or a waiter the same way, that's a man of one line. And you want to be around him. A man of one line is valuable, and you want to be a man of one line.
Okay.
But people like Jordan Schachtel, no, they're snaky. They're arrogant when they think that they're superior. They're arrogant and condescending and bullying and bastards. And then all conciliatory and deferential and docile when they think that you've got the upper hand. To all of them, to men like that, individuals like that, because they're not men, you just have to whip them. You've got to kick them hard.
Jesus.
Kick them in the teeth. And the thing is, see, when you do that and you show them strength, they get more docile. Yeah, that's a fact. Jordan Schachtel. One day, I'm gonna come across you. It's gonna be very, very unpleasant for you because I don't mind causing a scene.
What are you even threatening? I like how he says, like, he won't go as far as be like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, because he knows he physically can't. But he was like, I'm gonna cause a scene. Like, what, are you gonna shout at him? Are you gonna ratio him in real life? Soy? Like, bro, you literally in your last video just said, like, don't draft me, army. I'm too fucking fat and out of shape to go to work. Come on.
I don't give a fuck. Okay. Anyway, I'm addicted to the Twitter Spaces because I see all these blue check marks, and they're talking about Ukraine like they actually know what the fuck they're talking about, and what they're talking about is just so much bullshit. They just talk so much bullshit. They refuse to acknowledge why Putin is doing what he's doing. They seem to act like for no reason whatsoever, Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine. Like it was like, oh, out of the clear blue sky. And all the American people and the European people, like fucking NPCs, like fucking robots, they don't question this notion that Vladimir Putin is evil. It's just evil. You know, he just woke up one day and because he's evil, he decided, oh, you know, I'm going to invade Ukraine. Yeah, because I'm evil. What bullshit, man. I mean, come on. I mean, think here. You wake up in the morning and you're hungry. You're hungry because, you know, you slept a good 8 hours, you know, and you wake up and your belly's rumbling. And so what do? You get up and go to the kitchen and you're like, oh shit, I forgot to buy food. I don't have anything in the refrigerator. So fuck it. You throw some clothes on, you go out, you go to the shop nearby, buy some food, walk back home, and sit down and eat your food, right? Why did you go to the supermarket or the store or whatever? Well, because you were hungry. You were motivated. You had a reason to go to the store. You had a reason to not take a shower and just like throw on some clothes and just go. The reason was you were hungry. You were motivated, right? And it's a trivial incident, right? That you decided, shit, man, I'm fucking hungry. I'm not gonna shower. I'm not gonna shave, you know. I'm not gonna put on any deodorant or anything. I mean, the BO will just have to do. I'm just gonna throw on a t-shirt and jeans and a long overcoat and just rush out there to the shop, buy some food, come back and eat.
Where are we going with this analogy?
Starving, man. Right? You're motivated. Imagine going to war. Imagine.
This is why I like rape analogies, okay? They're quick and to the point. Yo, it's just like if that person tried to rape them. They didn't want to get raped. Oh, gotcha. I know what you mean. Boom. Not this like... It's kind of like when you want to go to the store and you're not really sure what the weather's like that morning, so you pick up your phone and you go to check your phone. And checking your phone is kind of like if you want to go to the store and you wake up in the morning and you're a little bit tired, but you know that you have to even if you don't want to. Which is kind of like when your phone vibrates and then you check your phone. You don't really know if you want to see who's calling, but it's kind of like when you have a bill to pay and you got to go to work. You don't really want to go to work, and it's like doing these things you don't want to. Kind of like when your phone goes off, you need it, and you're gonna check your phone. It's like, what the fuck am I listening to? Get the fucking point. Like, I don't even know if what you're talking about needs an analogy or a metaphor. Just talk about what you're talking about.
You're not just a leader, but you have like a whole class of people, ministers and generals and undersecretaries and assistant ministers and all kinds of a whole bureaucratic apparatus. And you decide to go to war, but not only that, this entire bureaucratic apparatus of very smart people, I mean, these are capable people, okay? They're not fools. They're smart, educated. I mean, they got IQs up the wazoo. I mean, you take the average of these fuckers, they're probably 135 to 150 average. I mean, these guys are smart, okay? All of them are. When you get to that level in any country, the people who are going to be leading it, they're going to be, if anything, they're going to have IQ points. So all of these people with very high IQ points, incredible education, incredible experience, you know, very capable individuals, they're all on board with the evil leader who wants to invade some poor innocent little country. And for no reason whatsoever, they decide to invade it. Does that make any sense to you? Does that make any sense whatsoever to you that all of these bureaucrats, these ministers, men with a lot of brain power, they all just decide to follow a leader off a cliff for no reason whatsoever.
This guy's
Does
rambling
that
is
make
almost par
any
with the
sense
card
at
eight
all?
story from earlier.
Huh?
They
Or
would be
could it be?
perfect
And
together.
I'm just spitballing here.
Just spitballing.
Could it be? Could it be that the Putin and his whole merry gang, they decided to invade Ukraine because they had a really, really fucking good reason, huh? Or a series of reasons. I mean, could it be that, huh? I mean, riddle me this, Batman. Do you think possibly, maybe, just fingers crossed, maybe they had a reason for this invasion?
I want him to do the
Maybe,
EJ.
just maybe,
EJ,
I'm just
tag again.
spitballing
Oh,
here,
loading down bad.
but maybe they were provoked and that it wasn't just like, hey, dude, man, I'm really bored this week, you know, my hot young Russian mistress is away, you know, in Milan shopping, you know, I got nothing better to do, so let's go fucking invade Ukraine. Yeah, let's go, dude, man, this'll be fun, man. We'll ride like a tiger truck and just like shoot shit with the 50 cal. It ain't gonna get laid this week, so they might as well invade a country. You think honestly that was the reason? Huh?
boy for show.
Or could it be? It could be. Spitballing here. That see the idea of Ukraine joining NATO and NATO putting a bunch of nuclear weapons right on Russia's doorstep was something that the Russians were just not willing to do, or more correctly, not willing to let happen. Huh? You think that might have been it? You think that maybe they were thinking to themselves, these crazy fucking Ukrainians are being egged on by NATO and the European Union, and their president, Zelensky, is even talking about acquiring nuclear weapons for Ukraine. Nuclear weapons for Ukraine, which would be aimed at Russia.
Wait, has Zelensky talked about acquiring weapons for nuclear weapons for Ukraine? Or was this after they fucking got invaded? If anybody has a link to that, I'd be curious. I haven't heard that before. Did you unironically say that the United States had no problem with Cuba before nuclear missiles? I'm watching the Mouth of the right now. Did you just forget the Bay of Pigs invasion? Do you remember why they called it the Bay of Pigs invasion, my dude? Fuck out of here.
And the flight time from Ukraine territory to Moscow is about 3 to 5 minutes. Do you think that maybe...
Why? Actually, I just made that up. I don't know why it's called the Bay of Pigs. I thought they called it the Bay of Pigs. My mom told me this, so it might be biased. I thought they called it the Bay of Pigs got fucking slaughtered. Because essentially the... essentially, was it the CIA or was it the Pentagon? I don't remember who the communication was. But it was basically, the idea was, we're going to send a whole bunch of military assistance to you guys. You're going to rise up and you're going to fucking... you're going to destroy... Fidel Castro. We're going to back you up. It's going to be fucking sick. And it's kind of like with your friend when you're in class, you're like, how about at the same time, both of us scream the F word and it's going to be hilarious. And then, oh, maybe it literally is the name for the bay or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's not, it wasn't a name, but basically what happened at the end is when the Cuban people, when the groups of people that they had like rose up to fight Castro, the United States didn't show up at all. They just like pieced the fuck out. They didn't piece out. They never even showed up. And then the people got slaughtered. This is one of the reasons why, Cubans feel the way they do about administration of the United States, but that means the U.S. had a problem with Cuba. No, I mean they did, but I mean like it wasn't the same. We weren't like invading Cuba, right? We weren't like so mad about it. Like it wasn't until the Soviet Union was moving weapons in that we were like, you had the whole Cuban Missile Crisis happen, right? Obviously, we had problems with Cuba to the south, and we weren't like super big fans of it. But you can't pretend that like, oh well, if any country, if Mexico or Canada were to join any type of military alliance, we would stop it immediately. Well, no, Cuba was part of the Soviets' trading economic pact or whatever, and they got military and economic assistance for a long time. We didn't technically invade them or do anything.
Maybe, just spitballing here, maybe they decided that they didn't want fucking nuclear weapons parked in their fucking front yard? Do you think maybe that was the reason? You know, back in 1962, well, I wasn't alive in 1962. I was born in 1968, but I heard many, many stories, and I read many books, as a matter of fact, about a series of events that happened in 1962. They were called, they happened in the Caribbean. It involved this young president named
oh shit,
Henry. No, Kennedy. Kennedy, that was it.
What's he
Jack,
talking
John,
about, guys?
Jack or John, something like that. Kennedy and a country called the Soviet Union, and there were like some island. Oh, right, it was the Cuban Missile Crisis. The Cuban Missile Crisis was because the fucking Soviet Union put a bunch of
Something that this guy doesn't know about, despite reading so many books. Just because you are a NATO country, okay? Just because you are a NATO country does not mean that you have nuclear weapons there pointed at Russia. That's not true, right? So, for instance, I'm trying to think. I don't know if we have any NATO troops. I don't know if we had any NATO troops stationed in any of the Eastern NATO countries. I think that changed after 2014. After the invasion of Crimea, I believe we started to put NATO troops in.
Imagine CRP bites
in some of the Eastern NATO countries.
You get to cash in on him being wrong about predicting her suicide.
But just because you have a NATO country doesn't necessarily mean that, like, oh my God, there's nukes right there at the border. Like, not to mention, I don't know if nukes being at the border matter anymore. We have guys in the Baltic states, I think. Yeah, but that didn't happen until 2014 onwards, because generally we don't want to militarize the fuck out of countries, because that would be highly antagonistic. Welcome to NATO. Here's your complimentary nuclear ICBM. True.
Intermediate range intercontinental ballistic missiles in fucking Cuba, America's front doorstep, and the United States freaked the fuck out. They freaked out so bad that they were willing to go to nuclear war right then and there over these fucking nukes. Yeah. And they put a blockade around Cuba. It was a whole fucking thing, man. And the United States, let me phrase it, the world nearly came to a nuclear war over those nukes. Because the nukes in Cuba violated a key tenet of the doctrine of mutually assured destruction. Now, mutually assured destruction, I'm going to have to set the phone down so I can explain it to you. It's very simple.
Oh my God, set it down. Okay, here's the explanation, okay? If you nuke me, I'll nuke you, so if anybody nukes anybody, all of us die. That's me. I don't know how. Is he going to find a way to make this take like 20 minutes to explain?
See, and I hope my audio's all right. Let me adjust the camera there so I look handsome as possible, or at least less ugly than usual. Now, mutually assured destruction is this. See, you've got nuclear weapons, I got nuclear weapons.
Are we still going to the store?
Okay,
I'm hungry.
So what happens is, see, mutually assured destruction means if I shoot my nuclear weapons, it's going to take some time. It's going to take, an hour or so for the missiles to get. I mean, they have to go all the way around the world, right? I shoot my nuclear missiles and my radars are going to pick it up. And so I shoot my nuclear missiles. And what happens is that I shoot them in retaliation. Our missiles cross and we kill each other. Mutually assured destruction. And in game theory,
every time Coach says something,
basically means
it reminds me of Linkara trying to do a Heath Ledger Joker impression.
Cool.
Rational actors will never fire first. Because if somebody fires first, if this guy fires first, he shoots his missiles, the other shoots.
Okay, I haven't read specifically theory on nuclear theory, but I've read peripheral stuff, so somebody can tell me if I'm wrong. But my understanding is that this type of so you have something called like a second strike capability, and nobody wants their second strike capability to be threatened. Second strike means that if you shoot something at me, I want to have time to be able to react and shoot something at you. My understanding is that with the existence of the nuclear triad, we don't really think in terms of second strike capability anymore. If every single US or Russian city was knocked off the map immediately, there would still be enough nuclear subs that could come out of the water at any place of the world and deliver a second strike to whatever opposing country you wanted to. Now, my understanding is that second strike worry isn't like a real worry anymore. That's still a thing, that like even if somebody can nuke you really quickly, you'll always be able to return because of continuance of governance, because of nuclear arms all over the world, some hidden. Like, that's not a thing. That's my understanding. I could be wrong on that, but
shoots them in return and they kill each other. If it's the other way around, if this guy shoots first, he shoots his missiles, this one shoots, and they kill each other. End of story, right? But see, if you have the missiles really close to the other guy, you can shoot him and destroy his own missiles before he has a chance to respond. See? That's why nuclear powers don't like it.
when you put nuclear missiles right close to them.
So that, yeah, like this just is outdated. Like there is a chain of command and a continuous governance. You can't just nuke everybody's missiles. Also, my understanding, again, I haven't researched. It's been a long time. Some of my information is outdated here, so I might be wrong. I just put my headphone missing. Nuclear missile silos are like, if this is a nuclear missile silo and you bomb like here and here and here, this will still be functional. Like if you want to destroy like a nuclear missile silo, you have to hit this shit like dead on, and you have to know where it's at. It's like there's a lot of work that goes into disabling like the entirety of a country's nuclear arsenal, and there are like thousands of these things hidden in so many different ways. Like you're never going to be able to, and keep in mind it only takes what, like 20 or 30 nuclear missiles to just destroy an entire fucking country's like major city. Like it's, yeah, like this is, yeah, the information that he's speaking about is like very outdated. Like this might have been true like in the 40s or in the 60s even, because my understanding is, I think part of the Cuban Missile Crisis, part of the issue, the reason why Russia wanted to move missiles to Cuba was because I think the Russian delivery systems were a little bit shit. And Russia was legitimately worried that it wouldn't have second strike capabilities to hit the United States because the Russian missile delivery systems weren't caught up to, I guess, the ICBMs of the United States or other countries. So that's why they wanted to get ordnance into Cuba so they'd be able to deliver missiles to the United States if necessary.
Because, see, it eliminates the whole purpose of mutually assured destruction, or it eliminates the whole balance of mutually assured destruction. And that's why when the Soviets put nuclear missiles in Cuba, it freaked out the United States because it meant that the Soviet Union had a first strike capability. They could shoot first, turn the United States to glass, and the United States would not have the time to respond. Therefore, it incentivized the Soviet Union to shoot first. You see? And this is basic in the theory of mutually assured destruction. Of course, it's theory because so far we've avoided the practice of it. You see what I'm saying? Anyway.
Why are you linking Destiny? Read top line of nuclear triad. Triad references land, air, and sea nuclear capability. Why are you linking me to this or saying this?
The Ukraine, pushing to join NATO basically meant that NATO was going to put missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, perhaps, intermediate range ballistic missiles. They could even be intermediate range missiles that were non-nuclear, that just had a regular payload, but it would make Russia incredibly vulnerable. And in fact, it would incentivize NATO to shoot.
The triad is one of those systems that ensures we can get a second strike. What do you think I'm describing when I'm talking about nuclear submarines, right? Nuclear submarines are a part of the triad. But the big point, the big deal about nuclear submarines is that you don't know where they are, right? They could not submerge, they could emerge, surface. They could surface anywhere in the ocean and start launching nuclear missiles at you, and you wouldn't have time to intercept or find them or whatever, and then they'd be gone.
First. Yeah. Because, see, when you shoot first in such a situation...
There is never an incentive to shoot first because subs will always blow you up.
At any kind of crisis point, there'd be enormous temptation for the power that had the nukes closer to the enemy to shoot first. See? And this was known back in 1962. Hell, it was known in 1948 when George Kennan came up with the whole theory of mutually assured destruction. Okay? And in 62, it was proven. And all of a sudden, the Americans freaked out because they realized that if those intermediate range missiles on Cuba became operational, because they never really were operational, they came close, but they weren't operational. But had they become operational, it would have incentivized the Soviet Union to shoot them first. And that would have been the end of the United States. The United States would not have had the time to respond. Okay.
Is this guy trolling me? That's impossible. You can't shoot missiles out of the water. The silos get wet and defective. That's a big nuclear myth. I think this guy is trolling me.
And so, Ukraine joining NATO is basically the exact same thing as the Cuban Missile Crisis. Now, the thing is, see, the Russians decided that they weren't going to wait around for the missiles to actually be deployed to Ukraine. They figured, fuck it. We can't trust these fuckers. We can't trust the United States. We can't trust Europe. Their word means nothing. They keep telling us things and then lying to us or trying to blackmail us or giving us these bullshit sanctions. We can't trust these fuckers for any kind of diplomatic solution. And the Russians tried.
They tried for 2 fucking decades, actually closer to 3 fucking decades. They kept insisting that they didn't want NATO expanding eastward. And the West promised them that they wouldn't expand eastward, but they did. They promised that NATO would never expand beyond the borders of Germany. And in fact, at first, there was even enormous debate as to whether NATO would station weapons in East Germany. In the reunified Germany?
There was no debate about this. This was part of the concessions that the USSR wanted. Nobody wanted missiles in East Germany, the United States or Russia, because it was just, or the Soviet Union, I guess, technically, because it would have been a huge shit show.
You know, there was debate as to whether they would put them in East Germany. But then what happened was that, you know, as the years evolved, you know, NATO just became more arrogant. The United States became more arrogant.
I think to this day, I don't believe there are any weaponry there. I don't think there's any NATO installations or military bases like that in Eastern Germany. I believe that's true to this day.
And they kept moving the frontier of NATO eastward. And they kept saying that it's a defensive alliance. Okay, that's perfectly fine, but what are you defending against? We're just defending.
Well, against situations like Ukraine or Georgia. What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you living through right now?
Okay, against what? Well, there are no enemies. Well, there's one big country that's not a member of NATO, so I guess, you know, we're not trying to do anything, but why is Russia so upset with us expanding? So I guess we have to get even closer to Russia and become more powerful to deter Russia from attacking us, so we defend against Russia, so Russia is the aggressor. Basically, that was the logic of it. Mm-hmm. And Russia realized all of a sudden that NATO is not a defensive pact. No, they realized this when the whole Kosovo thing happened. When Bill Clinton got caught getting his dick sucked by Monica Lewinsky, and he needed a geopolitical distraction, they got involved in the whole destruction of Yugoslavia. And they bombed Belgrade for 75 days.
I don't know enough about Kosovo yet. I'm probably going to do a lot of reading on that tonight. I think the few big conflicts I want to read about tonight when I'm done with stream, it's going to be... I know a bit about Libya and a bit about Bosnia. I don't know as much about Yugoslavia or Kosovo. Those are 2 conflicts I need to read a lot up on.
Great. Mm-hmm. And caused a huge humanitarian crisis. And, you know, the Russians never forgot that. And then NATO... What did NATO do? It went in 2003 to Iraq to find the so-called weapons of mass destruction. Were there any weapons of mass destruction? No! No! No, it was bullshit, and we all know it was bullshit. I mean, everybody in the Middle East knew it was bullshit before the Americans went in. Everybody knew in the Middle East that Saddam Hussein was bullshitting about weapons of mass destruction because he was trying to deter the Iranians from attacking him. And so he concocted this notion that he might have nukes, he might have biologicals, he might have chemicals, just to keep the Iranians at bay. And the United States used this bullshit story, which they knew was bullshit.
Destiny, can you do that reading on stream so we can learn about Kosovo?
They knew
and
that
NATO?
Saddam Hussein was bluffing about having weapons of mass destruction. They knew it from the get-go, before they went there. But they used that as the excuse. They used Saddam Hussein's bluff as the excuse to justify the invasion. And they destroyed Iraq. Hundreds of thousands of people killed, perhaps 1 million. And certainly millions of Iraqis displaced, and the country itself destroyed. I mean, just ruined irreparably. The country is a wreck. And
I don't know what he means when he says that. Like bombed to shit, or because my understanding is that's not at all what happened, but...
will never be what it once was. I mean, it wasn't that much to begin with, but now it's just a shithole.
What do you mean it wasn't that much to begin with? What does he even mean by that?
Shithole. I mean, a real shithole. Just rubble and nothing. It's just done.
What? What is he talking about?
And it's a tragedy for the Iraqi people. Okay, I'm not saying this to belittle the Iraqi people. I'm just saying it to highlight the suffering that the Americans inflicted. They destroyed the whole fucking country for a lie. And the Russians noticed this. And so the Russians in the early 2000s, they started realizing, you know, these Americans, they're fucking nuts. And they started arming themselves to the teeth. That's what they started doing. And the first thing they started doing was scraping off all of these foreign financiers and all this foreign oligarchs from Russia and getting their shit in order insofar as their defense is concerned. And it took them a few years, over a decade, as a matter of fact. But the Russian armed forces today, arguably, and this performance in Ukraine might actually be proof positive, arguably, the Russian military is the best in the world right now, superior to the Americans. Certainly
Absolutely not.
more capable. Man for man, more capable than the Americans.
Oh, he probably thinks it's because of like trans military, they, them, fucking military people or some shit.
And I'll explain it in just a moment in this live
Thank
stream.
you.
But you got to understand what's going on here.
all right?
See?
It's a stupid
The Russians didn't decide out of fucking nowhere that they're going to invade Ukraine. NATO was the aggressor in Serbia, in Bosnia. NATO was the aggressor in Iraq. NATO was the aggressor in Libya that destroyed Libya, which was whatever you might have thought of Gaddafi. I mean, he was a funder of terrorism, and he was a crazy bastard.
My understanding for Libya was that it's almost inarguable. Somebody can tell me I'm wrong. My understanding of Libya was inarguable that Gaddafi was employing chemical weapons against what he considered to be like people that were rebellious or whatever. That's 100%. I don't think anybody even denies that, do they? So was Assad? Yes.
Yeah, remember his 40 virgin bodyguard thing? What the fuck was that? Oh, fucking nuts, man. That's what happens when you got too much money and too much free time. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Gaddafi, nutty as he was, at least he had a functioning
What the fuck are you
country.
talking about? I just want to go to Disneyland.
They destroyed it. NATO destroyed it. What was Hillary Clinton's famous line? We came, we saw, he died. Jesus Christ, what bloodthirsty bitch that cunt is, huh? I mean, really. Anyway. They destroyed Yugoslavia. They just destroyed Iraq. They destroyed Libya. And the Russians, by this time, they were wise to the game. Okay? And in 2014, there was the famous color revolution in Ukraine. The color revolution was a coup d'etat. It was a coup d'etat, and don't give me bullshit that it wasn't. You know, Yanukovych was the president at that time, and he was very buddies with the Russians, right? And he was a corrupt fat fuck. No question. Okay? But he was the democratically elected president of Ukraine, and he was carrying out the policies that the people of Ukraine wanted, you know? I mean, that's a fact. And what happened? Why did they decide?
I don't know if that's as true. Because if that's true, why did the Ukrainian people seem to so adamantly elect anti-Russian parliament people and anti-Russian leaders after Yanukovych was ousted? It was a coup. I don't think anybody denies it was a coup d'etat, right? It was obviously a coup, but this is an hour and a half longer. Do we want to watch the rest of this? I might just move on from this.